you guys probably did a good job of explaining it, but holy crap, that was a game. That was a game. I'm surprised that the Kindred and the Avern, well, early game at least, the Kindred had a very demanding impact in the game, but for some reason, just I don't know what went through Lysa's head, but just kind of lost control. And really, I think it came down to as soon as I think you even mentioned this, Keno, as well as when top lane started joining the fray. When Rennington it's like option 12. Can't find my words. But option 12 forgot that Rennington existed, and once he started getting into team fights and started just deleting people, it seemed like it really turned the tide for more cowbell.
Seems as though we've had an error making the game, so we're gonna have to back out and remake it.
Right.
Yeah, unless we were doing blind pick.
I still say, man, one of these days.
Yeah, then we'll just have Anivias everywhere, and that'll be great.
I mean, if we could really have it exactly how we wanted, it would be where it would be blind pick, and you can pick multiple champions, and we would have Anivias everywhere.
5v5s Anivias, just snowballs for days.
Yes.
Can't even tell.
No, thank you.
Whose ice wall is whose? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's part of the fun.
Part of the fun.
Or the annoyance, whatever you want to call it.
Alright, so with the game being reset up here, we do have a couple of minutes. So, other than just finding a way to unplug Shaden's computer from the internet, Sig, what do you think that option 12 can do to come back in the second game?
I think we're going to have to see some real jungle priority in that top lane to allow Prowler to get ahead. Because if he can get ahead, he can keep pressure on this lane and end the laning phase quickly. That's going to be the strength here. I would like to see Prowler pick a champion like Alawi that would allow him to maintain that constant pressure with kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, now that I think about it, there really wasn't too much in the way of jungle pressure at all in that first game. I don't even know if Ivern ever really showed up in the lanes. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering.
I think that was intentional.
But it wasn't really a big impact into anything, although there wasn't any hard ganks that he was trying to set up for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that was an intentional part of the game plan, but I think they can't let top laners like Shaden roam free.
Right. And that's something that even the chat was talking about, is Ivern should be used kind of like to invade the enemy jungle, and there wasn't really much priority for that. That's getting away gold and also XP from the enemy jungler, which you would think that Ivern would be pretty decent at.
Yeah. And I mean, Ivern was in the jungle a couple of times, but Cowbell was really on point, collapsing on him and forcing him out.
Right.
Which was, one of the moments where they started kind of establishing their presence was that first time they chased him out.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have to see. I don't think we're going to see such a quirky team out of option 12 this time. I do still think we're going to see that Renekton ban. But we'll see what the other options are, or the other choices rather, as we move into the second game proper. Cowbell versus option 12.
I wonder if Cowbell's going to put that ban in for Kindred.
I wouldn't. Outside of the first 5 minutes, which really you could put that on team positioning.
Yeah.
You're really not going to feel any impact from Kindred there.
Right.
Yeah, it did seem
a lot of physical.
It is rather unfortunate that Kindred did seem to become a bit of a non-entity as the game went on. Eventually. But yeah, I don't think we'll see Kindred get banned. That being said, to any LCUS players who are listening, if you guys do like Anivia, don't ban her first if your team's picking first. Seriously, here's a caster pro tip: let her float. Force your opponent to ban her. Don't waste that ban if you have a mid laner who's willing to play Anivia.
So anybody.
Anybody, yeah. And then first pick Anivia and win the game. Or save Anivia for the third ban. Odds are your opposing team will ban her anyway, right? Because they'll just be like, oh god, Anivia's still available.
Right. This is true. But it's for the people that forget that Anivia exists, you know?
Mhm.
You just want to get that out of the way. I don't know.
Well, you know, I mean, it's an easy first ban to do because, you know, it's a priority in the LCUS, and it's something that everyone remembers, hey, this is someone we want to see banned. But at the same time, it just always hurts to see that when theoretically your opposing team will ban it instead.
Right.
But we'll see. So very similar, nearly identical bans this time. Do see Caitlyn get blocked out. So we'll see who gets picked up first. Ooh, a Zaya for Cowbell.
And no Renekton ban, and no Kindred ban.
Yeah, no Renekton ban yet either. So I'm wondering what Option 12 is feeling. Maybe they're expecting that top lane will get picked last again.
Well, with the picks that Option 12 are with the bans that Option 12 are making, they targeted bot, they targeted top, they targeted mid. These are all target bans, and they're low impact because you're just putting these players in a position where they have to go to their next comfort choice. So I don't agree with that ban strategy.
I mean, I suppose that's a fair point. You know, maybe they're for some. Well, I mean, for you know, probably in their mind, legitimate reasons, they're more scared of Kai'Sa and Veigar than they are of Renekton again. So you know, it'd be like playing up against Ace or Hohenheim or something like that. And sure, maybe they beat you with whoever last time, but you still don't want them to get Anivia or Veigar or Lux. But we'll see. Do get the Karma picked up this time and the Sejuani. So, ooh, and we have the love in the bot lane here. If they don't have matching skins, though, the illusion is broken.
Can you feel the love? I'll stop right there.
Yeah, you were doing good, though. You know, song about cats in love when it's a couple of birds is a little bit unfortunate.
It's like the jungle, you know, like animalistic being, you know.
Sure, that's fine. Hickey with the Galio again, so very comfortable after getting blocked out of Veigar. And looks like we'll see a Talia in response. Which I would argue to say, you know, I'm going to go on a limb and say it's a little bit more normal than Kindred mid.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely.
Alright, so we'll have to see where Cowbell goes with the other couple of bans.
Just bad.
Do take Zac out of contention there. Was a couple of good plays from Shaken once he got his legs under him as Zac. So, good idea there. Big CC potential. I'm hoping to see at least one more tank come out of Option 12, get a little more durability on that team.
So I go.
Shen banned once again by Cowbell. Don't want
No
Prowler
love
getting
for
Shen.
Shen.
Yep. Or too much love for Shen, depending on how you want to
Option
interpret
12
bans.
has too much. Cowbell has not enough.
Not seeing enough Alistar out of Cowbell this season yet. They're forgetting their mascot.
They've disappointed me last split. They're disappointing me this split. It's just going to be a continual stream of disappointment.
Alright, and taking out the Irelia. Don't want to deal with the dashing dancer. And we'll see what the last ban is. But once again, Renekton is not picked up. So I guess 12 is very confident with their ability to deal with Renekton. Again, possibly with a Sejuani helping out with gank potential. Ooh, and the Vayne picked up for ADC. Hopefully see some nice outplays there with Menard's on her.
Hyper carry potential is real.
Alright, so we'll see the last couple of picks here. We have a top lane and a jungler still to go.
So I believe Menards is... Might be getting this wrong. I feel like there were other pentakills. This was also a class feeders. I feel like he's one of the few people to get multiple pentakills throughout the LCUS.
I believe you are correct there. Alright, so it's Yasuo top lane. 2 knockups at least on the team already. So definitely a good playing ground for Yasuo's.
I agree with you. His Yasuo and Vayne, Jesus.
And Trundle jungle most likely. Unless it's Trundle top and Yasuo jungle, which would just be weird.
That would be weird.
Or Galio jungle, Yasuo mid. There's options.
I could see Galio top, Yasuo mid, Trundle.
Well, they don't have 12 options.
True. Alright, and Ornn. Alright, so option 12 is sticking with Prowler on the Ornn up against Shaden on Yasuo.
Back to the meta, folks. No more innovation.
Yeah. No more excitement here, folks. We're back to the ordinary grind. But, you know, Yasuo is always fun to watch, either when he's succeeding or failing. Either way, it's entertaining for somebody.
Indeed.
But alright, so yeah, much more standard, much more durability for option 12 this time, which I appreciate. Equivalent of durability all around, I'd say, actually, so really interested to see how this works out. Xayah, of course, is a huge force to be reckoned with in LCUS history. Has been banned quite a lot as an ADC just because of that. So seeing if Brandana is able to go off or if the bot lane of option 12 will be able to shut him down. Obviously, big thing to look out for there. But, Sig, what do you think about Talia Galio in the mid lane?
It's going to be an obstacle early game for Talia, but she's got the wave clear to keep that lane pressure up, to keep Galio on his knees. So as long as Sejuani can keep that pressure, I guess split between the mid and Shaden, because he's definitely on a carry champion right now. Things could go very well for Talia.
Mm-hmm. And Nickel, if you were in this game and you were in option 12's shoes, who would you want Truffle to prioritize? Would you want him to shut down the bot lane or the top lane? Theoretically.
Theoretically, I might have to go with the bot lane just because of the Dream Team. Not just because of their champs they picked, but just the Dream Team. Brandana, Mr. Fig. You don't want those guys start snowballing. But I could see some people want to shut down Yasuo. It kind of depends on how he's doing. And going against Ornn, I feel like that Ornn might have enough meat on his body to be able to stay alive in the top lane, so I don't think that'll be too much of a concern. But who knows? I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Just because with seeing how Prowler was playing Ornn in the last game, liberal use of that ultimate.
Right.
Liberal use. I mean, absolutely. Every chance he got, there was that ram charging down the street. Right. And so seeing how Yasuo, with the mobility that Yasuo does have, assuming there's enemy minions around, able to avoid that. But then, you know, you're avoiding one thing and you're dodging the Sejuani ults. So I'm really interested to see how that target priority works out. And if they decide to be aggressive again with those invades. Because Trundle versus Sejuani would be a bit of an interesting noodle fight. But a lot of CC. And different types of CC too. Got primarily knockups. I don't... Beyond the taunt, there isn't too much in the way of hard CC on Cowbell, is there?
You don't have to worry about CC when Yasuo gets the penta.
True.
Low priority there.
Right, exactly. You know, once Galio knocks up the whole team and Yasuo ults the whole team, you don't need to worry about the rest of the team fight. But yeah, that's something, because the CC that came out of Renekton was a big part of Cowbell's victory in that first game. So I think I feel a little more confident for option 12 this time if they get a lead early game, that they might be able to maintain it. But we'll have to see as we move into the second game. See if Shaden rotations become more of an impact, see if there's a little more jungle focus all around. With a little more of a normal team coming out of option 12, they left the memes behind and they're getting serious.
No meme left behind, man.
Well, especially because you freaking out about them is how we all remember them.
Indeed. Although this time it was Sig that was freaking out about this one.
True. Wow, almost no skins. Disappointing. Low effort, Cowbell.
It's definitely shirts versus skins.
Yeah.
That's it. Turn it off the stream.
Someone told...
You can go home, folks. We made it.
Someone forgot to tell Yasuo that they weren't wearing clothes today, and so he showed up all fancy, and they're all just like, "What are you doing, man?" But then, yeah, I mean, a lot of nice matching skins there for option 12 too. 4 blues, well, 4.5 blues skins.
This is definitely Team Ice.
Mm.
Winter Wonder, Freljord. Well, I guess it could be a Thunder Snow. Light blue.
Thunder.
Light blue. Heavy.
And look at Sejuani doing Mother Russia very proud, training bear.
Chaining bear. All right, so definitely option 12 won the skin race the second time. Didn't help them so much the first game. Let's see if it helps them this time. Though I suppose to Brandana and Mr. Pig's credit, they do have matching Zaya and Rakan skins by not having skins. So I guess I won't complain too much about their lack of coordination. Once we buy Mr. Pig a new computer for that toaster he's running. Come on, Mr. Pig. We believe in you and your computer. Maybe. Maybe. No. All right. So while that isn't happening, let's talk about, just really quickly, what skins should Cowbell be running right now? I'd like to see a Gatekeeper Galio, I think.
Officer Trundle.
Yeah,
Is
Officer.
that a question? I mean, they should have picked Alistar. They should have done this.
Yeah. What characters would we rather
We're-
they be playing?
If we're being serious here,
It would
about-
still fit. I mean, you could put Alistair in place of that Rakan and still get the same effect.
Right. Same knockups, more durability.
The same heals.
Yeah, same heals. I don't know. I mean, I like the concept of Rakan Zaya, and obviously Rakan is very powerful. But at the same time, sometimes I think that there are better picks, even when you have a Zaya ADC, which is probably not a popular opinion, but it's the one I have. But okay, so maybe there was a DC or just didn't show him loading. Guess we'll find out in a second. Maybe a pause. If there is, folks, I'm sure we can continue criticizing the lack of skin choices. We are capable of that. But,
And every player that uses skins, thank you for keeping the ecosystem free for us.
Alright, so here comes the champions warping in. Some emotes. A couple of chromas as well. Throwing off the theme there, Menards. We were looking at blue and now you had to go and be bright red. Just ruining everything. Alright, doesn't look like there's as much invade aggression, or any invade aggression, at least at the moment here. Everyone just posturing, and Pig still is not moving. Or buying items.
I don't see Cowbell throwing the pause either, so I guess they're confident he'll show up.
Or they don't realize it yet. This is the value of Mr. Pig to the team. They're like, oh, that's fine. We don't need him. We'll just 4v5 until his computer decides to work. But yeah, very spread out. No funky business this time. I'm actually a little surprised, but option 12 doesn't have that many disables early on here. There's the pause. Welcome to the LCUS, folks, where we pause as much as we play. Because since the LCUS is the leagues for the rest of us, we also don't have the computers and internet the pros use. So sometimes disconnects happen. But we'll have to see. I'm interested to see how the this early game is going to work out, because with the lack of invades going on here, and more than likely lack of just straight up early engagement, turns out to be much more of a standard game.
I think that a lot of the pressure for this is going to be on the shoulders of Shaden. Brandana showed, well, for 3 splits now. He can consistently perform on most ADCs. But this is our first game seeing Shaden with Yasuo, I believe. So I'm excited to see a hyper carry in this hop.
Yeah, hyper carry, as Ace pointed out, hyper carry Yasuo versus hyper carry Vayne. We'll see if Menards is able to keep up the pace. And seeing Lismakis return to a little more of a standard mid laner, I'm sure will help out quite a bit as well against Tiki's Galio.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, seeing where, as I said as the game was rolling up after interrogating Nickel about it, seeing where Truffle goes after his first clear, I think it'll be very telling about how they want this game to go on Option 12's part. But at the same time, it's possible that, you know, they may try to mix it up, keep the pressure everywhere, which of course is rough for a jungler to do, but we'll see if Truffle's up for it as the play resumes. Alright, so Pig is back, allegedly. He is buying items. Ganks in the bot lane will also be interesting because there's less durability down there now than there was last game with no Braum.
That is the case, but we do have Karma with movement, speed, and shielding, and Rakan, who's just able to peel for days.
Alright. So there is a missing call. Shaden did start with sword, so won't be doing any crazy dashing just yet. And Hickey and Lismakis trading some blows already. Attempted pokes by Ashway, not able to get too much going there just yet. Ooh, Menard's taking a little bit of chip damage from that lack of range. Don't build hand crossbows like they used to. We do have Truffle grabbing the scuttle pretty early compared to Shaken's route.
New patch, new priorities.
Yeah, we'll have to see which priority paths turn out to be better as the patch figures itself out.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of pressure coming out of Option 12 here, pushing Brandana and Mr. Pig back rather significantly. Ooh, just managed to grab that there. Good pressure there by Lismakis.
Yet again, he's showing early game is his time.
Alright, so no jungle rotations yet, both still clearing out their parts of the map. Granted, Shaken did steal red buff from Truffle, and Truffle doesn't realize it. So Truffle's, that time wasted, air quotes wasted, on the Scuttle Crab is now going to make him suffer. Everywhere else seems rather even. Hickey, of course, having a little bit of difficulties. Here comes the rotation, but Shaken is not able to make anything happen. Thanks to some very good ward placement early here from Ashway. Here comes a Truffle invade. Gonna try and steal these wolves. Should be able to do it with Shaken still trolling bot lane. And Hickey once again a little bit of pressure. Shaden is now doing Yasuo things fully. Wind wall and dashes and all that stuff. Truffle's going to be in a little bit of trouble when he does try to gank because his ult's going to get totally wind walled every time. Or at least I would hope every time. So we'll have to see how he decides to stall that out.
I think it's going to come down to making sure that it's down with Prowler throwing some abilities out first.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Truffle looks like he's going to go back here.
Oh, Hickey going very low after a very good combo from Lice.
Yeah, Lismakis is really doing a lot of good Talia damage here early on. And Hickey is just going to end up getting further and further behind, whether he dies or goes back. Really need some help from Shaken to make up for this deficit. But we will have to see. All that aggression from Menards and Ashway, still no kills. Looking at gold, they're both saving up rather well here, both around 1200. And just really interested to see what direction these lanes start going once we rotate more into the mid game. Lismakis is very low on mana, but does have tier.
Oh, and we do see Shaden engage with his ultimate. Prowler walking out, so not as much damage coming across. We don't have many items on Yasuo right now, so
yeah,
I guess just throwing, showing he's not scared. Bring the noise.
I mean, not only not that many items, but Prowler is a tank. So that damage is not going to be as significant to him as it would against a mid laner. But at the same time, Prowler has been hit by the last 3 hurricanes that I've seen, or tornadoes rather. So not being able to dodge those as well as one might hope. Meanwhile, Hickey is back in lane, 21 CS down. And Yasuo has bought his Zeal. None of the ADCs have gone back yet, so we'll see when they finally decide to do that. Both are now at 16 to 1700. And Lismakis continues to get poke combos off on Hickey, despite Hickey's anti-magic shielding. Here comes a possible rotation by Shaken. Let's see how it works. Just perfectly timed with a knockup as well. Flash to avoid the knockup. Good job at Prowler surviving that.
Looks like they might be looking to head off, maybe fight over the scuttle.
Seem to have changed their minds. Ashway getting very low in the bot lane. Have to see if they decide to dive for that or not. Jungle presence is limited at the moment, so they won't be able to rely on any backup for that sort of engage. Let's see what Truffle's thinking here. Possibly just trying to steal a red buff.
Does not know he's setting on a ward.
Well, that's always rough, right?
Yeah.
Does look like he's taking the long way around for an engage, though. Oh, running right into it, Mr. Pig. Misses the go-ahead Q for the stun. Here comes Talia to avoid it. Teleport's coming in. Stun off on Brandana. Does use the ult to manage to avoid that very quickly. Pig still goes down, though.
Option 12 putting the pressure on.
2-man rotation results in a kill. Yasuo did teleport to help. Earth Drake is the first one here. Pulling out a little bit here. Doesn't look like they're willing to contest this, though. Lismakis decides to troll Shaden for no reason other than to stop his recall. Dragon gets 2 leash and has to heal a little bit. Get that smite. Alright. So, first dragon going to option 12 once again. This time it's an Earth Drake, though, so will help with those objectives. Hickey is almost double down now in CS, though we'll be able to climb back a little bit here as Lismakis has to go back. Big Ornn ult trying to disrupt things there. Gets a little damage off on Brandana, but no follow-up.
They are just staying there. Forget building the tent. They put up a village.
It is very interesting that he used teleport for that when it was under tower. Maybe a little bit of communication issue there. Or, you know, just being trigger happy with his ult like he was last game.
Looks like the top and Shaden, Shaden and Shaken are going to be going for Rift Herald right now.
Should be able to get it relatively uncontested. There's no wards on it, though. They could have, Orin's ward could have suggested to them where they are. But no one there to contest, no one even thinking about it. So Cowbell gets their own objective.
Oh, and looks like they're rotating mid.
Yeah, I mean, with no mid lane presence right now with the Smokis, they could theoretically try to do that, but it looks as though they're considering otherwise. Could be a big collapse here. Let's see what happens. The Smokis does set up a combo there, but misses it. Good wall there by Shaken to get Lismakis to back off. A lot of pings going on, a lot of communication, and what looked as though a teamfight was about to brew is now simmered down rather significantly. Everyone going to their respective lanes, just doing lane things. Prowler is down by only 15 CS, so not as bad as it could have been against a carry like Yasuo. Mid lane's still not going great, and we still aren't really seeing, despite, as you said, the tents that are being set up in the bot lane, not really much of a focus on that top lane to try to shut down Shaden.
Perhaps they're trying to scale the other lanes so that Shaden isn't much as an obstacle.
Well, we'll see what happens. We do have Shaken being spotted rather easily here. I would like to see a little bit more effort into dewarding. Yep, there it goes. And Shaken, realizing he's been spotted, just kind of wanders off. Going for a little bit of a jungle invade here. Just as blue buff appears, so that's a little unlucky for Truffle. But Truffle going for a steal of his own while he's about to get collapsed on. Here comes Shaden, getting some good damage off already. Should be a knock-up here? Nope. Asmakis comes to help. Scuttle Crab kind of glitch appears. Interesting there. Good rotation there by Ashway. Lands a little bit of damage. Once again, we have some major posturing going on in this jungle. Looks as though Hickey and Shaden are not willing to engage on it, so Lismakis is going to get himself blue buff. And possibly a gank. We'll have to see. I don't think the position's that great. Looks as though they agree. And a good block there. That's one of my favorite things about Trundle players. It's just all the creative ways they use their pillar.
Yeah, it really is one of those open tools that's available on League. More than most abilities.
3 people in the mid lane now. Might try to apply a little bit of pressure. I'd like to see Yasuo possibly... No, Yasuo's not close enough to do it, I don't think. Nope, he's doing it anyway. Alright, so here comes the Herald. And Yasuo just decides to go home after doing it. Here comes the engage again by Lismakis. But a mist wall and a flash keep the mid laner ADC safe. Yasuo decides to teleport in. Not too much there for him, but Menards goes a little far forward. Good wind wall. Knockup misses. Hickey is here as well. Shaken's taking a lot of damage, though.
Oh, wow. Hickey getting caught out. Low health bars with the exception of Shaden.
Where's my Karthus ult? Never gonna stop asking until someone plays Karthus. Alright, so more interesting rotations coming out of Cowbell there. Mr. Pig getting caught out, but the others being able to get away. Fortunate positioning by them, able to avoid Lismakis' ult with a flash, of course, blown by Shaken just to ensure that. And we have a Cloud Drake up now. No Cloud Drakes in the last game, so that'll add another interesting dynamic, assuming one team is able to secure it.
Completely new game, folks.
And we only have a 2.3k gold lead, so a very even game. Obviously a little bit more slower paced as well. At 15 minutes last game, I think we were at well over 11 kills and 2 towers down. But option 12 is not taking any chances this time. Bit of a lane rotation. Brandana and Mr. Pig coming up top. We'll see if they decide to stay up there. Looks like they are for the moment. Truffle should have been spotted there. Is spotted there. Collapsing down. Good flash. And everyone's dodging everything. Yasuo, meanwhile, is bot lane. Totally spotted in that bush. Should know he's spotted in that bush.
Doesn't care.
Just showing off the skin that he brought. None of the rest of his team did. Hey guys, I got a skin. Aren't I cool? Did get that Phantom Dancer, so a lot of damage potential already. And it's only going to get worse. Or better, depending which side you're on.
Yeah, he's just gonna chill underneath there.
He's waiting to get Menards in a freebie. That's what's happening. One of these times he's going to screw up and get hit by a tornado, and when that happens, Shane's going to eat Menards alive. Here comes both junglers down here. Shaken collapses immediately on Menards.
Oh, and Menards helps Shaken.
Yeah, probably not intentional there, but really good ult by Lismakis helping secure both those kills top lane. Leading to a 3k gold lead and just 5 kills. Possibly a turret as well. Looks like the damage output may not be quite enough. Yeah, I'm probably trying to take out some of the oncoming minions. Ooh, chasing the bot lane. Good attempt to knock up there. Shaden getting that Yasuo damage potential. And also
Big trade there.
Yep. Also Shaden's first kill of the game. We'll see if Ashray is willing to stick around. Looks as though she is. Lands the ignite, but that's not enough damage. Turret aggro, unfortunately for her, ended up on Shaken. So Shaden does not go down.
Yeah, without tower aggro, it's a difficult fight.
Truffle using everything in his power to try to stop CB Hickey, but with Sejuani's 0 damage output, not able to make that happen. Only turret down so far for option 12. We'll see if Cowbell is able to change that. Bot lane turret is very low. But that being said, option 12 could get this bot turret as well. Looks as though there will be no defense for it. And Cowbell will get top lane. Alright, so turret for turret. Still the 3k gold lead. Baron up in a minute. Dragon up longer than that. So Baron will be the next major objective that people will be focusing toward and needing to ward. Still limited ward spread from both teams. Top lane a bit of a focus. A lot of control wards up there. Big ult trying to come out of Prowler there. Does land a couple of hits. There's a lot of knock-up combos there, but no Yasuo in sight. Hickey managed to take out Trufflesaurus. Prowler is in a lot of trouble as well. Shaden does an interesting flop in there to try to get some kills. A lot of damage coming out. Ashway takes out Mr. Pig. Prowler is going to go down. Menards is probably going to go down as well. Nice little push off there. Big ult from the Yasuo. Ashway goes down. And Menards is the only one away from an ace. Big damage problems coming out here. Menard decides to go away from his turret. and is taken out.
Probably was going to try and get the, oh, wow, the English language. First one of the day, folks. Well, that was the team fight the team Cowbell was looking for. And that definitely gives them the turnaround.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to change this iteration of Cowbell's name to Team Turnaround. Because that just is how they've been playing these last games. Smox is going to survive this, though. So option 12 answers right back with 2 free kills. Relatively free kills. But, I mean, we saw this in the last game as well, where the Cowbell was down somewhat significantly and then had one big team fight, and then they were very close to the top, and now the 3K gold lead is down to 1K.
Yeah, the conservative game just turned into a big turnaround. But option 12 is not letting it get out of control.
Yeah, indeed. In fact, they're aggressively collapsing on this mid lane turret. It's good they realize that they're at a bit of a disadvantage right now just in terms of momentum, and they're finding ways to claw it back. Earth Drake is back, and they can transition nicely into attacking that. We'll see if Cowbell is able to respond in any way. They aren't pulling it out of the pit this time, so there is some advantage. Ward does spot incoming, though, but no chance to contest it. Ooh, big ult coming up here. Does get a double team knockup, but also that ice pillar helps prevent any sort of casualties from Cowbell or any other sort of priority. But big engage potential coming out of Prowler, and more than happy to exploit it.
Yeah, he's very liberal with those ultimates, and that can be a great thing.
Shaden, meanwhile, continues to play the role of the hyper carry, where he just goes and farms for 45 minutes and then wins the game. But we've got a long way till 45 minutes, folks, so we'll see when he starts inserting himself into the fights a little bit more. Might end up right here. We'll have to see. A little bit of posturing going on outside the Baron pit. A lot of wards in that area, so whoever goes there is going to have to clean those out. Prowler attempting to do so. Might be a little out of position here. Here comes Shaden. See what happens. Big collapse. Prowler's probably going to blow flash here. Does aggro Baron to try to get some focus on him, but the entire team collapses on Prowler. No flash, no Prowler. Wait, he didn't have flash to begin with. Silly me. Alright, a lot of warnings here on the Baron pit. Menards was farming, but decides to go back and come help, I imagine. Hickey now doing ward duty. Let's see what Ashway does in response. Ashway aggroes Baron to chase Hickey out of the pit.
Baron, one of the MVPs of the day so far.
Right, I mean, that damage potential. He's both teams' 6th man. Alright, so skirmishing in the mid lane here, a lot of posturing. Unfortunately for option 12, Cowbell does have a little bit more control over the Baron pit. Truffle's going to try to do something about that, but will also get collapsed on. Once again, aggro's Baron and runs away. Everyone stop bothering Baron. Or at least pay him for his services. Is he going to get any credit if he kills somebody? No, he's not.
I really wish they would track that, though. Like, beside the column that says Baron kills, have another column that says Baron kills. Don't explain the difference.
Yeah, don't explain the difference. No commas, no apostrophes, nothing. It's just Baron kills. And then Baron gold besides. A lot of collapsing there. Prowler and Lismakas bursting in, absolutely deleting Shaken. But Shaken does manage to flash to get away. Just barely, though. Meanwhile, Hickey is absolutely removed, though. And it looks like they're willing to take advantage of this with a push. Good idea. They're up against 3.5 heroes right now. Menard's getting that high damage off. Those 2 Earth Drakes doing a lot of work. Yasuo's looking for a big whirlwind. Gets one knockup on Lismachus. Windwall coming out there as well. Is worth knowing Truffle does still have ult, and Windwall is up as well. Turret is destroyed. Alright, so good push there, taking advantage of taking out CB Hickey there by option 12. Able to get that one turret. Rotating toward this very weak one as well. They're actually just going to completely collapse on Shaden here. Does land the knockup, doesn't attempt to try to deal anything extra for it. This block is taking a lot of turret damage. Does manage to try to get away there, but is taken down regardless.
Oh, good flash. Oh, ultimate from Sedge.
Alright, so Lismachus very low, still no Karthus ults in the game. Seriously, it's just disrespectful. If you're up against a Karthus, would you stay in that fight? No, you would not.
I might have built some MR. I'm not worried about it.
You'd teleport home and hope to God Karthus hasn't realized that you're at 2 hit points.
Well, looking at it, I don't see any redemptions out yet. So that might give you the same effect.
Yeah, that'd be interesting as well. Get another redemption kill.
Yeah.
Alright, so no vision on Baron anymore, except for this couple of control wards here that aren't necessarily on Baron. Just kind of looking around it, but here comes Mr. Pig to help with that problem. And once again, somebody shoots into the Baron pit. Poor Baron. 50 seconds on next dragon will be another Cloud Drake. Had some only duality on the Drake so far today. Hickey caught way out of position. Still, Hickey's having a really rough game. I mean, that cannot be overstated. But it looks like his team's coming to help him. They don't want this fight, though, as Rakan is not there. But if we take a look at the gold, I mean, Ashway almost has more gold than Hickey does. Those 7 assists really giving her a lot of work. Alright, so posturing going on. Positioning. All good words. Let's see what Pig does here. Looks like Pig's going to go in for the knockup. There comes all of the ults coming down all at once. Pig gets deleted. Absolutely deleted. Deletions going all around actually here. A lot of damage. Truffle is in the front lines though, and that's definitely what they want. Brandana trying to use the ult to get out of there, but a couple flashes exchanged, and Shaden is the only one left standing from Cowbell.
That was not the engage they thought they were getting.
Yeah, there was some really good positioning there by option 12, putting their front line where their front line needs to be, even with Prowler dying incredibly quickly.
No real damage coming across here.
But then again, everyone is really low. This is what Yasuo's dreams are made of right here. Shane, if you're ever going to outplay anyone, it's this second. No, it's fine, guys. I just got to farm a little bit more. I'll get there.
And another instance where Karthus would have got a quadra.
Exactly. I mean, come on, guys.
Kenos is trying to explain the new meta to y'all, and y'all just completely ignoring him.
Yeah, the new meta is kill your opponents when they're low hit points. It's
That's some next level analysis.
It is. It's a little bit out there. Some teams aren't as good at it as others, but I'm just saying, Karthus, man. Karthus would be like 6-0 right now.
Karthus or really synergist redemption usage.
Or, you know, I guess an Ezreal. Draven. Really fed Draven.
An Ashe. Okay, anyone with a global.
A really good Pantheon ult. Oh my god. A Pantheon ult on that Baron pit would have been amazing. Possibly the greatest thing ever put on film. But here we are instead with a 5-person Baron pushing down bot lane here. Let's see how Cowbell handles this. This is some of the most direct pushing aggression we've seen out of option 12. Mostly they've been one objective and then quickly switch to a different lane. But this is just a straight up offense. And with a 7k gold lead, we'll see what kind of contestant gets here. Many alts are also down. So, for example, CB Hickey cannot use Galio ult for another few moments. But that's almost off cooldown. Mr. Pig takes half health damage from one spell. Wind Wall comes out. Not blocking too much there, though. It really looks like Lismakis has just gotten to a point where the damage he puts out is too strong for the squishy characters on Cowbell. Prowler whiffs on the ult. That bot inhibitor dies. Oh, here comes the knockup. Does get 2. Big ult coming in. More knockups. Shaden is really trying to get something done here, but doesn't have the damage output necessary. Here comes the redemption. Does manage to heal a couple of characters there. Brandana is still alive. Hickey getting a lot of knockups. Brandana's not alive anymore. And this may end up being game. Here comes Menards trying to get the Quadra.
Ooh, very good column.
Yeah, really good pillar there.
That word too.
Or, you know, the official one. Yeah, Pillar of Ice. Very literal spell name there. Yeah, Menards has gotten too big at this point. In the War of Hyper Carries, Menards won that one and helped his team to victory. Alright.
GG's across all around. That puts us at 1-1, correct?
Yep. 1 game apiece. Excellent. Let's check out some of these graphs here. I just want to see some damage really quick here. Yeah, both Vayne and Talia blew everyone else out of the water in terms of damage.
Yeah, it doesn't look like either of the carries, Zaya or Yasuo, were really able to get off the damage that we're looking for this game.
Yeah, it makes the game seem far less close than it was for most of it. Until that Baron fight, it did seem relatively even. But you know, we'll have to go and work toward that. There, Nickel, are you here with us?
Oh yes, this time I actually am. But yeah, I gotta say that game was. It definitely got one-sided as soon as Vayne turned on, but I actually liked that game a lot better than the first game. It was more of a tug of war throughout the entirety of the game, where it seemed like, oh, now this team has the upper hand, now the other team has the upper hand. Who's gonna do what now? But then it seemed like that Option 12 just took control and was able to go through with it. But all in all, I feel like that this was a much better game.
Well, it looks as though we do have a an interview here with Lismakis, so we can hop over there and check that out. Hello.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Doing well. Congratulations on a very good game 2.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really tried to pull my team out and win the second one.
Not with a Kindred this time?
Yeah, we really tried to do something different, you know, bring a little bit of that White Wolf gaming aspect to my new team and just try new stuff.
I mean, the beginning of that game, you guys seem to be doing very well.
Yeah, and then I kind of threw it away with that invade onto their Raptors after we got their tier 1 mid lane through it. And I was like, oh guys, I want that stack, but then they kind of collapsed better and we got that Renekton fed.
Indeed. Yeah, that Renekton was certainly fed. But what kind of thought process did you guys have going into game 2 to make up for the crushing turnaround in game 1?
We were kind of like, okay, we gotta do some more, you know, legit stuff. We can't have a Kindred and an Ivern. Really, because Ivern does, you know, no damage. And brings little utility, so we were like, okay, we want to get me moving around the map, which is why I played Talia, a great roaming champ. And we just wanted to keep Prowler keeping their top laner semi-down in the laning phase.
Well, it definitely did seem to work out in your favor. A lot of good rotations there coming out of, like you said, your ability to head up there and cut people off.
Oh, thank you.
Nickel, Sig, you guys want to throw in anything?
No, very well played game 2. I love to see some strong Talia play, so thank you.
I got nothing left.
And
Yeah,
at the end
very
of the
well done.
stream, at the end of the stream, you guys were talking about how when we were sieging that bottom inhib turret, I was getting really strong, and then at the Nexus, you talked about how Menards was getting really strong, and that's really what we want to do. You know, keep a double threat and sometimes maybe even a triple threat with a Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
heard it here first, folks.
All the threats. All right.
You know, maybe we'll do a Malzahar Warwick. I don't know. We
Now
haven't
you do
wrapped
realize
that.
that everybody's going to ban Warwick for you guys, right?
Maybe we don't want to play Warwick.
Yeah, I was gonna
anymore.
say I didn't see any Warwicks this game. I don't know. All right. Well, congratulations on coming back there in that second game, and we'll see if you guys are still in first place by the end of the night. You have a
We
good
will be. Trust me.
have a good rest of the evening.
You too. Bye.
All right, so we'll be heading into our second set of games coming up right after this quick break. It will be Take the Lantern versus Phoenix. Don't go anywhere.